Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to a new video. On this video, we are going to start our review series for Final Destination, also known as The Road to Final Destination Bloodlines. So, as we're starting off with the original B2000 feature film, Final Destination. So, Final Destination originally started as a concept episode for the TV series X-Files. So it originally started as that, but unfortunately it did not work out for the X-Files, so then it became a full-length feature film known as Final Destination, which spawned the franchise of Final Destination, which released as Final Destination 2, 3, 4, 5, and the upcoming Final Destination 6, known as Final Destination Bloodlines. To me, Final Destination, it's a good movie, a really fun popcorn movie. I'm not going to say it's a great or a fantastic film. The film is, as itself, it's, really good, but really can be really cheesy and stupid at the same time, if you know what I mean. I always enjoyed Final Destination as itself, as the first film itself. I never really cared for any of the follow-ups, like 2, 3, 4, and all that stuff. 5, we'll get into, I liked 5, but we'll get into that once we reach 5. But overall, the first film itself, it starts off really good, it starts off really strong, and dark, and gritty, but sometimes, it does have its problems, its issues. Yes, the film can be really cheesy, a little corny, but overall, you start to see, as of now, as we're almost 25 years of this franchise. Yesterday marked the 25th anniversary of release of the original movie, Final Destination. Happy 25th anniversary to the original movie, which is a classic in my opinion, but was also my favorite of the entire franchise. I love the original movie because it starts off really good. It starts off really strong. It really knows what it wants to be. But sometimes, the original movie can take itself a little too seriously, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. But overall, the movie starts off, with our main character, Alex Brownie, played by Devon Sawa, who's a great actor. I think Devon Sawa is a great actor. We all also know him from his brief appearance in Casper, also his performance in Night of the Twisters, and so on and so forth. But Devon Sawa, in this film, he felt really good. He was great. He was really good in this film. I really liked his performance in this film. He does make a really brief cameo appearance and archive footage in the 5th film. We will discuss that once we reach Final Destination 5. I don't know when we will reach Final Destination 5, hopefully soon, because we are just kicking off this review series for Final Destination. This is the official start to Final Destination Bloodlines. Bloodlines is the 6th film coming this May, opens May 16th. I can't wait for Final Destination Bloodlines. We've waited for years for the film, but overall the film itself starts off with a premonition um, of Alex Browning has a premonition of a plane blowing up, exploding in the beginning of the film. Um, but overall, once it finally does come true, um, it does finally explode. But overall, in the film, um, it kind of starts off with him having premonitions or visions of how the next person is going to die. But once the plane disaster finally happens, everything seems fine, but overall, it kind of just goes forward. Like, death finally has what it a design it wants to do. That's in the tagline. One of the taglines is like, "You can't cheat death. Death doesn't take no for an answer." That's basically kind of what the film is kind of about. But how can you come together and cheat death? Can you basically find a way, figure out death's design and cheat death? That's but basically not what the premise of the film is, but them working together. There's characters, of course, you got your main character, side characters, but also the love interest, and of course you got the jock who's also the jerk and also the villain, kind of like the bad guy of the film, which is you know, other than that. But of course, Final Destination kind of like I said, it started out as a concept, an idea for the X Files. Like, if you read what was the idea for the X Files as a concept, as an idea for an episode for the X Files, but it just kind of just didn't work out, if you know what I mean. Then it came a full-length motion picture, then spawned a franchise. Um, that's basically the concept of Final Destination. Final Destination, to me, itself, it's a good movie, but yes, is it cheesy? Is it corny? Yes. Has the film has as a whole um, aged well? Not necessarily. I feel like the film itself kind of feels dated. I feel like the effects, the special effects or the visual effects are kind of a bit dated. I feel like it did not age well as a whole, but the film itself it's still very, very entertaining, and it's just a fun ride to see where the film starts off and how it accelerates from the plane explosion to the final act. I do love the fact that, like, okay, we got your beginning, your middle, and then the end, which is the final act of the movie. Um, I I do love the cast. I do love the characters. The characters are really good as a whole. But some of the side characters are kind of unnecessary. They're just there just to be there, kind of help accelerate the plot of the movie. Some are just there just to be there, are kind of a bit of annoying. Um, but overall, Final Destination as a whole is a good movie. I would say for this first entry, it's a very fun, popcorn, entertaining entry. Is it a great or fantastic film? No, it is not. It is very cheesy. It's very corny. Some of the effects, this and that, are just kind of dated or outdated. They just did not age well or have not aged well at all. Some of the side characters are just stupid. They're just here just to be there. Of course, your bad guy, your villain. He's just not a really fun or entertaining person. He's just there just to be there. Of course, when you finally get to the very end of the film, you're just kind of glad he finally gets what he deserves. Like, you really are rooting for your hero, your this or that, to make it to the end of the movie. You're not really rooting for the bad guy. The bad guy is just here just to be there, just for, the anchor of the film. But overall, you're just, once you finally get to the final part of the film, you're just wanting him to finally get what he deserves. You're wanting him to die. You're rooting for him to die for the whole time while you're watching this film, if you know what I mean. I mean, this film itself, not just a series, but itself, has, captivated a generation. It's given a generation of fear and terror in real life. Many people in real life has related to this film and this franchise, like why they won't want to play it, or why they won't drive behind a semi-truck and stuff like that. That's what this film, or this entire franchise, has done. It's captured the fear and the terror for a generation, for over 25 years, if you know what I mean. That's how long this franchise has been around. That's what the original movie has been around. It's been around for 25 years. And it's hopefully finally reaching its conclusion, this coming May 16th of this year. We're hoping that May 16th of this year is hoping that Final Destination Bloodlines is the final installment. It's hoping finally that this franchise is reaching its conclusion, is that we finally get to see how death finally just comes around and just beats the crap out of everything. Like, it just finally reaches its climax, that it is done, that this franchise is done, and it is finally just ready to just go away and never be seen or heard from again for some time. I'm hoping that this franchise finally just ends in less than 2 months. I love this film. I love this franchise, but it is time for Final Destination to end. It needs to end. There does not need to be a 7th or 8th or this many installments in this franchise. This franchise is done. It is over with. We're done with Final Destination. Final Destination needs to end. It's done. But overall, my final thoughts on Final Destination of the original film: is this film great? Is it a masterpiece? Or is it a fantastic film? No. I believe Final Destination as itself, as a film itself, it is a classic. It is what started this franchise. It is what instilled fear and terror into a generation. But overall, Final Destination, it is cheesy, it's corny, but overall, I give it a solid 7 out of 10. I think Final Destination is good, and I'm just going to leave it there as we start our official review series 4 on the road to Final Destination Bloodlines. Final Destination Bloodlines opens May 16th, 2025. I'm excited for it. I hope we finally get to see the conclusion of this franchise, what we have all been waiting for. Thank you guys for joining me on this review for the road to Final Destination Bloodlines. As we, review the first film in this franchise. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications so that we can see you back here next time. We'll see you next time on the next video for Final Destination 2 on the road to Final Destination Bloodlines. Take care, guys. Have a great week. Have a great night. And we'll see you next time on the road to Final Destination Bloodlines. Bye-bye, guys.